This cow has been through the wars, and I'm gonna do everything I can to fix her. This is the Hoof GP. This is cow 182, and we saw her just 8 weeks ago when her foot was in this mess. As soon as we realised her heel was peeling away, we applied a block, then looked at this fistula which was inflamed on her ankle and a real mess. She had a spot down in the toe area which I was sure would connect up with the hairline. But we started at the heel and peeled away the layers of hoof horn to reveal a heel ulcer. A bloody mess, but that was nothing like the true extent of her problems. As we carved away the layers of hoof horn down towards her toe area, we realised she had a double sole and a problem with the axial wall of her hoof. This opened up to a lesion within the white line, which again tracked all the way up through the interior of her hoof capsule and connected all the way up to the coronet. This was a messy foot, and no wonder she was in so much pain. Once we'd dealt with the hoof horn issues, we cleaned out the fistula using chlorhexidine and iodine. We also treated the rest of the hoof horn with iodine before adding a salicylic acid wrap and moving on to her back right foot, which unfortunately we also found a problem with. This wasn't so serious, so we quickly dealt with it by removing the overburdening hoof horn, applying a block and treating the whole area with iodine. This is how she was walking after the trim. Fast forward 8 weeks and we have her back in the crush, and I'm really keen to see her progress. It has been 8 weeks and these cows are outside walking, so the blocks have long since worn away, but I'm hoping they've done their job. First up, look at the difference there. What a huge difference. If you remember, this whole area was completely open, infected, and actually weeping out when I pressed it. You can see me here pressing it and it's oozing out. The area is filthy and it's being ravaged by infection. But just look at it today. Yes, there's a little red spot in the middle, but it's all healing up beautifully. If we lift the foot up, this area has started to close up. This is all regrowing, and this area is really looking good compared to last time. All in all, it's looking good so far. Just have a little feel with my fingers. I know there is some detached hoof horn to come away from here because instantly I can see here is all detached. This is still in good neck, which is fantastic. Right. There is still some detached hoof horn here, and that's why these revisits are so important. You just never know which parts are going to grow in perfectly again and which parts really are not. Oh. How good is it when you get a result that is as big and significant to a cow's comfort as this? I'm not saying it's fixed, because it's definitely not completely fixed. Well, I wouldn't say it was, but yeah. Definitely a lot better than it was. These little areas fill up with manure and dirt, and those problems can start to track if we don't just scrape out and cut away these little fissures, they call them. Fissures meaning little flaps in the skin or hoof. Right, that part of the foot is looking beautiful. Look how soft it is though. It is really soft, and then if you look here, really hard, which is good. Right, let's inspect down here. Now, we're not going to be too severe here because this part is notoriously difficult to get to heal, and actually this is looking really good. Like I said, we don't want to upset this and undo any of the good work that's been done, but we do want to promote the healing as much as possible. That bit there's just bending out of my way. This black hoof horn can look bad and you can be tempted just to want to cut it all away, but actually it's only black because the slurry and manure is tainting the colour of it and turning it black. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's unhealthy, just that it's being stained. I think what we'll do is we'll get the grinder and we'll just gently shave all of this area away. Getting the grinder and shaving away like this can be notoriously dangerous, because if she flinches too much, we'll go too deep, or if we press too much, we'll go too deep, or if we misjudge it, we'll go too deep. But if we just gently graze it away like this, hopefully it'll end up like this. And it did. Which is a massive relief, because that is the architectural part of the hoof. Right, let's move onwards to make sure that none of these loose and detached flaps of hoof horn can cause any mischief by removing them. The hoof I'm working on right now has yellow patches, and that's a sign that serums from the blood have been seeping into the hoof horn as it's being constructed. This bit here is going to be really, really hard to cut with a knife, so we're just going to shave this little pointy bit back with the grinder. And actually, while we've got the grinder out, we might as well prepare that inner cloth or a block as well. Desperately trying not to push my luck too far. I honestly cannot overstate how important it is not to over trim this area of a cow's foot. Really, we don't want to trim it at all, but when there's a problem like this, we need to in order to fix it. This part of the foot is literally what holds the whole weight of the cow in the air. What a difference. If we just have a quick look at the whole foot here. This is what it looked like those few weeks ago. Seriously, seriously sore. And this is what it looks like today. Miles better, but definitely not completely healed. This foot had a problem right here on the white line. It was only small, but even small things can be a problem. Case in point.
What?
Perfect response. I do love him, really.
He says that.
Working with family day in, day out is honestly great, and we would struggle to make it through the day without having a laugh at each other's expense. And trust me when I say that off camera, Craig has his own fair share of things to say to me. At this point in the trim, I'm really not sure at all of what progress, if any, we've made. So again, this is better, but clearly there's still a slight little issue here. And because there's no real height difference between the two, and this is bruising here, we're going to attach a rubber block. We're using a rubber one because this will heal within a week or so. And rubber ones don't really last all that long. Long enough to heal this, but not long enough to cause a problem by itself. I just love seeing that glue go on. It matches the hoodies, by the way. If you don't follow me on Facebook or whatever, then the green hoodies that everybody loves are back in stock. If anybody want to check out Kirsty the Cow or any merch, go to thehoofgp.com and you can buy whatever you want from there. Like that. Modelled expertly.
Oh, like this.
Do blue steel. Anyway, back to the trim, and me possibly speaking too soon. I think actually this has healed, it's just there's a bit of a hole been left. Wait, have I spoken too soon? It has sealed up, but it's left a bit of a hole, and I'm not really sure what's at the end of that hole, but it's not affecting her. I saw her walk in, and it's not massively impacting her, so I don't want to go too deep. That rubber block should allow it to regrow and hopefully just kind of grow out of her foot. Right, let's get her back on the ground and see how she's walking now compared to last time. After a very cautious first few steps, she soon begins to find her stride. And actually she's walking much better than I thought she would be at this early stage. I'd like to point out that she is quite dirty on her bum. That's because she is eating grass that is a little too rich for her right now, and it's going straight through her, which is making her bum a little messy. But how much better is she walking than last time? Marginally. This has been Hoof GP. Thank you for watching.